Who are more emotionally available today? Is it men or women?
The men I work with, the majority of the time, they're actually looking for something stable and they can't seem to access it with the women in this day and age. Because hookup culture has made women immune to connection now, they're kind of used to men just coming and leaving and not calling them and not labeling it, that they've come into dating with that expectation. And when women lose the driving force of the connection, men don't know how to lead emotional connection. So as a result, we've got endless broken relationships occurring because they've been conditioned to because of Tinder and Bumble, which has just created a bunch of people who haven't really got the skills to maintain long-lasting connections, all finding each other and then breaking up with each other, finding each other and breaking up with each other. I've had clients say to me, I met this beautiful girl, and when I met her and we hooked up, she was like, you can go now if you want. I know you want to go home. And he said, no, I want to get to know you. But she was so used to men being in that state with her that they've taken relationships and seen them as kind of vacations from their real world, and they'll go back to their real world once the weekend is over. So I think it's more society has conditioned people to not look for connection, and because men tend to place the acceleration of connection in the women's hands, and they're so used to it not being that direction, they've lost control of that, and it's now kind of fizzling out for both genders.
Do you feel like people actually want to be in a long-term relationship, a committed relationship, or do they want to just have the feeling of a relationship for a weekend and be able to have it with multiple people, but never fully go deep?
It depends what she values in her life. In this day and age, you can be 22 up until 42. So you can still have vacations whenever you want. You can still kind of live an Instagram kind of lifestyle. You can still go out with your friends. There's no kind of shame in being a woman who's a bit older, not married, no kids. You can still enjoy your life. So if that's something, if she values independence and she values freedom, then she's not going to be looking for connection. She's going to place connection beneath what she values in life. And that's men and women. I would say that applies to both. But if somebody values and recognizes that their root of happiness is their relationships, and their true happiness comes from when they don't need external stimulation and they don't need vacations and they don't need all of this, they actually want someone that they can stay home and get bored and do nothing with. What they value will depend on what they've experienced the most around them. So if they've experienced people showing them investment, they'll probably value connection more. But if they've experienced being somebody's short-term fling every weekend, they'll start to get immune to connection and invested in stimulation instead.